Hello friends, welcome to this video on Python programming, and in this video we are going to take a look at Python functions. So what are functions? Functions is basically a block of statements that is going to perform a specific task. So for example, you have some code, okay, which is continuously you call that code continuously in your code. Multiple times you're calling that code. So instead of writing the code over and over again, what we do is we create a function and we place that block of statements inside it. Okay, whenever we have to perform that particular task, we call the function. So our code also becomes smaller in length, and it is much cleaner code. Okay, so the main purpose is reuse the code. Okay, reusability is the main application of functions. So we will take an example. Suppose, okay, I have a function def. Okay, function, so I'll give a function name, and you have to give a parenthesis and then colon, and then I say print this is my first function. So this is all that you have to do. So this is a very basic function I have written. What I have done, I have taken def is a keyword. Okay, what it will tell the compiler that okay, whatever follows is a function. Okay, and then you have to give the name of your function. Name of your function can be anything. I have just taken function underscore name. You can take sum or whatever function, calculate prime number or whatever you are doing. Okay, so based on whatever task you are performing, you can give the function name, and then function name has to be followed by parenthesis. So inside parenthesis right now we don't have anything, it's empty right now, but in case you want to pass some arguments, okay, we will see in the next example, so you can pass those, and then you have to put a colon. So then okay, whenever you do this, okay, the compiler will understand, okay, that this is a function code, and basically you see the indentation has changed, right? So it's not on the beginning of the line, it will basically be a block of statements, okay, which will be indented after this. So you see this is a very basic function which is printing this is my first function. So how do you call this function? You just have to write the function name, okay, parenthesis, and that's it. So just save your code, command S, and now let's run it and see, it says this is my first function. So you have written your first function in Python. So now let's see, okay, a few more things. So now let's say I have to create a function which is accepting two parameters. Okay, I have to calculate the sum of two numbers, okay, for example. So what I will do is I will create a function. So you have to write def keyword, okay, sum is the name of my function, and I'm passing two variables, or you can say two arguments to it, so a and b. Okay, now put a colon, hit enter, and now let's say, so let me just write like this. Okay, so hit enter and write, okay, let's take a variable calculate sum. Okay, calculate underscore sum, and let's store the sum of these two arguments in this variable calculate sum, so a plus b. So okay, so this is the function sum, okay, which is taking two arguments a and b, and it is storing the sum of these two, okay, in a variable called calculate sum. So now usually functions, okay, can it's not mandatory, okay, that you have to return, okay, from a function, but what we will do is like explicitly you don't have to, but in this case I want to return the variable's value. Okay, so I'm going to do return. So I have to return the sum, so I will say return whatever is stored in calculate sum. So let's copy and paste. Okay, oh, what happened? Calculate sum. Okay, let's cut it and paste it. Okay, so this is how you write your sum function. And how will you call your sum function? So go out of the function, okay, and call sum, and let's pass two variables, say 5 and 10. Okay, and that's all. Okay, so you will be able to call this function, but nothing will happen. Okay, so let me show it to you. So let me say run. So you see it is printing this is my first function. Okay, but what happened with this function? So nothing will happen because you are not doing anything. Okay, so suppose if I put a print here, print calculate sum. Okay, so print calculate sum. Okay, now in this case when you will call this, it will print the sum also. Okay, so let's execute now. Let's save our program, command S, and let's execute. So now you see what it is printing. It is printing, okay, let me clear and show it to you. Clear, run. So it's saying this is my first function, okay, because we have called function name here, and then it's printing 15, okay, which is coming from this call, okay, sum 5 comma 10, okay. So it's calling this function, okay, and it's returning calculate sum. Now suppose I do not want to print it here, so what I'm going to do is hash here. So let's comment it out. So I want to just return this value that we have calculated here, okay, and use it in my code. So I will say, so you store the result of sum, okay, in a variable. So let's say a is equal to sum, and then you print, okay, what is the value of a, print a. And now let's say command s, okay, and let's run it. So you see this is my first function and 15, okay. So this 15 is coming from line number 18, okay. So we have called sum function and we have stored it in variable a, and then we are printing a. Another example, okay, where we are going to calculate the sum, okay, but we are going to store in two variables, okay. So suppose I'm right now you see that I am storing the value of some function, okay, in one variable. So now suppose I want my function, okay, to return two values. How will you do that? Okay, so let's say, let me go back to my sum function and I will calculate another, let me take another variable, say sum new, okay. So this is my new sum. Sum new is, it is calculating a plus b into 2. So I want to calculate what is the value of this expression a plus b into 2, and I want to store it in a new variable sum new, and I want to return both calculate sum, what it is storing, and sum new, okay, what it is storing. So in that case I will say return calculate sum comma sum underscore new. So both the variables you can give, okay, in the return, okay, and then what you can do is when you are calling your function, okay, so suppose I am calling my function in line number 17, okay, sum function I am calling here. So what I will do is right now, okay, there is only one variable, okay, so you cannot basically, you know, store two values. So since we are returning two values here, you have to give two variables, so a comma b, okay. So now calculate sum will be stored in a, okay, and sum new, which is the second one, that will be stored in b, okay. So let's say print a, and when you're printing also you have to give print a comma b, because now you have two variables, right? So let's save our program, command s. Let me clear the console, clear, and now let's run this. So you see this is my first function which is coming from line number 16. Then line number 17 has a comma b is equal to sum 5 comma 10. So this function is returning calculate sum and sum new, and you see 15 and 25 is the output, okay. So 15, 25, so a is 15, okay, which is 5 plus 10, and b is 25, which is 5 plus 10 into 2, so 5 plus 20, which is 25. So this is how, okay, you can return multiple values from a function. So we will see more on functions in the next video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.